Welcome everybody to Midas Letter Live. I'm your host Benjamin A. Smith, filling in for the one and only Mr. James West, who's on assignment. Today we have a very special guest on the show. I'll be speaking with Craig Kolochuk. He is the President and Chief Executive Officer of SugarBud, SugarBud Craft Growers Corp. They trade on the TSX Venture under the symbol SURG. Craig, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Benjamin, for having me.
Absolutely. Now, to lead into it, it's your first time on the program, so it's a good time to give us an update on what the company's all about, some of the good things that are going on with the company, and whatever material information that investors have to look forward to in the next couple quarters.
Yeah, no, great time to tell our amazing story. SugarBud Craft Growers is an emerging Alberta-based, publicly traded cannabis company focused on growing handcrafted, select batch, ultra premium bud. Our objective is to cultivate a premium product and maintain margins in this highly competitive environment. And a bit of our history is we've gone from oil and gas to oil and grass. And we actually press released here today that we are now monetizing our oil and gas assets to become a pure cannabis player.
Okay, great. Now, I guess one of the things that stands out to me with your company is that you're not only aeroponics, you're not only an aeroponics grower, you're a vertically aeroponics grower. Can you explain the difference between the two?
Yeah, so aeroponics, in our opinion, is the premium play for growing. It gives you more weight per crop. It gives you better quality bud, higher THC, CBD, trichomes, aka sugar, and you use less water and fertilizer, so you keep your costs down. But what we're doing is we're taking it to the next level, and we're doing vertical grow. So we're scaling up so we have better floor utilization, which means increased revenue per square foot of grow.
And that's important for investors to realize too, because the advantages actually go beyond that, correct? You're in a similar space as James E. Wagner, and I believe they're only doing it on one floor, but there are advantages such as crop rotations, from my understanding, more cultivation cycles due to the nature of the way the cannabis is grown, and other advantages such as not having to change dirt and just change components and putting in a crop cycle literally the next day after harvest. Is your company going to be able to realize all those advantages as well beyond the traditional grower?
Absolutely. We're going, we're perceiving that we're going to get 5 to 6 crops a year versus 2 to 3 on the dirt hydro side. As you alluded to, it's a cleaner way of growing. There's no dirt. The roots are suspended in the air. There's instant uptake of nutrients and oxygen. We can flip a crop in 7-8 weeks. So yields are higher, annualized. Quality is better, and yeah, it's a cleaner way to grow.
Okay, from my understanding, right now you're not actually harvesting right now. There's a couple hurdles to get to. Perhaps you can give us a timeline on any licenses that are going to come into place and the timeline of when your facility is going to be ready to start producing harvests and having a revenue accretive to the balance sheet.
Absolutely, good question. That's what a lot of investors are asking us right now. We broke ground on our state-of-the-art purpose-built facility in July of this year, and we should have the keys by Christmas or early January. We've scheduled our videographer for middle of January, and what that is that you send a video to Health Canada to obtain your cultivation license. Typical turnaround is 3-4 weeks. So as it stands today, we're in the position to be growing kind of mid to late February for cultivation, and then from there you need to test out 2 batches. And the beautiful thing with Aeroponics is we can do a crop in 7-8 weeks. We're hoping to run 2 batches in parallel. So ideally for us, we obtain our sales license in second quarter 2019.
Okay, terrific. And I would imagine that also another important feature to your business model is the stability in terms of how you grow the product. For example, we've seen some high-profile cases recently where some LPs maybe miss the mark on some of their cycles because growing marijuana isn't exactly the easiest thing to do. There's mold, there's pests. It's not like growing tomatoes in your backyard. So is there any risks at that from your perspective from the Aeroponics grow, or does your business model sort of virtually preclude any of those problematic harvests from taking place? So I think that's an underestimated thing that maybe investors aren't focusing on, the stability of how you produce products.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's necessarily whether we do aero or whether we do hydro or dirt. I think what we've done is we've built our facility such that we have 8, for phase 1, we have 8 controlled grow environments. Each room is 2,200 square feet. It's 22 feet high in height for vertical. And this way we can manage any pests and pathogens. And if you did have to dust a crop, you're only dusting 1 crop versus, you know, these large-scale greenhouses that have 100,000 square feet of, you know, in 1 room, and it's a lot harder to control. So, like whether we do aero or any grow methodology, we've learned from what our competitors are doing, and we think these individual controlled grow environments is the way to go.
And finally, mid-month, you announced that you secured a $25 million equity facility with Illumina Partners, LLC, which has also supported some other smaller LPs in the Canadian marketplace. Has that money been put to use, or is a lot of that going towards getting the new facility ready? And do you anticipate going to market, you know, in the near future, or will you be up and running before you have to go to the market again, if that's needed?
Well, I'm going to back up a bit before the Illumina draw or financing that we've done. Initially access to capital has been phenomenal for us, and it really speaks, I think, to our story and to the credibility of our team. Initially, we raised $8.25 million around this recap of the oil and gas company to pursue cannabis opportunities. With that placement, there was a rights offering done in September of this year, and we had a fully subscribed rights offering of $7.4 million. In parallel, we were talking with Farm Credit Corporation, a Crown company, and we were able to secure a commitment letter from them for $17.65 million. And Farm Credit had looked at 30 plus cannabis deals. They scrubbed us down for 3-4 months, and we were able to secure that financing. And then on top of that, as you alluded to, most recently we have tied up aluminum partnerships out of New York for a $25 million drawdown equity line, and we have not drawn on that yet. And the plans are to use that for an ambitious retail strategy. an extraction facility, and any other interesting joint venture opportunities that present themselves.
Great. So it looks like you're all cashed up or have access to cash, which is terrific. Okay, Craig, we're going to leave it there for now. Thank you. Great job on your inaugural appearance on Midas Letter, and we look forward to covering your story further as the story progresses in the new year.
Thanks very much, Benjamin. Appreciate your time.